Hello, my name's Darren. I'm an Arts and Technology student at Section University. As of today, technology are taking over mostly everything and it changed the way we work, especially in the creative areas. Tons of new technology are introduced and to keep up with that pace of changes, I need to adapt to them quickly. That's also the motivation for the projects I have just showed you. I've done it in 2 months. I have no programming experience before. I decided to work with Swift, a programming language made by Apple for its platform, iOS, macOS, and tvOS. The reason is that Apple nowadays is the biggest name in app design and the trend of using mobile apps is blooming significantly. Okay, now back to the question. How did I make the apps in just 2 months without knowing nothing about programming? In order to make my web apps, first I need to use an API. An API is the JSON data, which include all the information about the weather, and I have to use API from Apixu, and it provided for free. Actually 500 calls for a day. Here you can see me request the URL from Apixu using URL request. And actually I'm going to replace occurrence. What is replace occurrence? It is used to replace a word where there's a space in the URL. It's going to replace with %20, so there would be no space. And then I'm going to use URL session share data task. In order to get the data I needed out of Apixu, which is a city name, temperatures, weather conditions, as you can see down below. After URL session, you will have to do the try catch method, which is like common in Swift. This function is literally as the way you call the action and show the errors to you when there's one. Make the data show up at some point to the users. One of the main features of my apps is audios and music, so I have to import the AV Foundation at first, enable to use music, and then I'm going to import my music into my music assets. And here you can see I also use the do try catch that I mentioned before, enable to call out my music from the library access. After getting the sound, all I have to do is after user enter search button, I'm going to play it by .play. And what I'm going to show here is grouping all the weather condition into different types of weather conditions, so that later I can add other function like animation to them. In order to add depths to your design, animation is the must, and you're going to use C8 gradient layers as the way to create the gradient layers transitions. So here I'm going to use that. With the gradient layers, you are going to define two UI colors in one array. For example, red and purple, or you can use RGB colors. Then I'm going to add transition to layers by define many aspects of it, like duration, to value, fill mode. I can experiment with that like the whole day. And there's one more, CG Affine transform, which is one of the other kind of animation in Swift that I have tried and play with to the condition so that you can see it in my apps as I decide here. And that's it. Thank you for watching.